Buckeyes of Ohio State. The Buckeyes thus far have dominated in the circle, not allowing a run in this series as they look to complete the sweep at home this afternoon. Here's the box scores for the first two games. 4 home runs from the Buckeyes on Friday, including a 3-hit day from Haley Lang to win it in 6. Different story, though, in Game 2, a pitching duel featuring a career day from Carson Cassidy. But the Buckeyes doing enough to take this series. On the call, alongside former Northwestern Wildcat Sammy Netley, I'm Kelsey Casper. And Sammy, Ohio State so far has dominated this series, and it's thanks to the arm of the freshman in the circle, Jenna Mulk, who has thrown back-to-back complete game performances.
Yeah, the freshman phenom has been all that and then some. Can she go the distance now in the series finale and extend this Buckeye win streak to 5 games? We're going to find out.
As we take a look at the starting lineup for Michigan State, they are led by their leadoff hitter, Zoe Bernard, hitting .339 on the season.
Yeah, Bernard has stepped onto the college scene in a big way and has been a huge spark for the Spartans at the top of the lineup. If they are going to end the scoreless streak in this series finale and get some runners across the plate, it's going to start with Bernard's ability to get herself on base and in scoring position.
And the Buckeyes are giving the nod to Jenna Mulk once again, her 3rd straight start. Why has she been so hard to hit for these Spartans?
She has just been such a workforce and a workhorse in the circle this year for the Buckeyes. She's a power pitcher. She tops 70 miles per hour consistently. She's going to live at the bottom half of the zone with that drop ball. And for her to go the distance today, in my opinion, it's about her ability to control the strike zone.
Jenna Mulk has only given up 4 hits so far this weekend on this beautiful afternoon in Columbus, Ohio. 60 degrees at Buckeye Field. Get us started in Game 3. Just a little bit of wind pushing to about left field. But otherwise, gorgeous afternoon and a perfect afternoon for some college softball. And we're off. Bernard leading things off. It's a first pitch strike for Jenna Mulk. Now this Spartan squad, they had a tough Big Ten schedule to open up conference play, facing off against the top 2 teams, UCLA and Nebraska, who just battled it out this weekend in the series. Nebraska taking that Game 3 and the series win. Bernard fouls one off, 0-2 the count. Michigan State sitting at 13-17 on the year, still looking for their first Big Ten win, 0-8 in conference play. But they'll need their bats to wake up this afternoon if they want to do so. Bernard with 2 strikes, flies one out to center. Lamone for the catch, 1 down.
Now look at Lamone just in perfect position right here against the lefty Bernard. Just an easy out that very much could have meant extra bases for the speedy freshman.
So it 1 out. Here's Kendall Smiley. Michigan State making some changes to their lineup. Head coach Sharonda McDonald-Kelly trying to possibly spark something offensively for this group?
Absolutely, but the consistency has been with these lefties at the top, these speedsters. She's looking for them to get themselves on base.
Flying one out to the left side. Tripping was Landmesser over on 3rd, but it's a foul ball.
Smiley just gets under that one, and Landmesser just gets absolutely sniped by the base there.
The probably would have easily caught that if she had not tripped, but luckily for the Buckeyes, it landed foul, so 1-1 the count. Able to lay off one low in the zone. Smiley, the right field junior, 5'3" out of Duluth, Georgia. Top of the lineup staying consistent. A lot of the changes for Michigan State coming at the bottom as she goes up and gets this one, and coming in to make the catch is Cruz for out number 2. Well, this is what the defense looks like for Ohio State. We'll talk a little bit about it more, but a lot of injuries at the beginning of the season. They had to switch things up, but for the most part, decent amount of returners as Lang is behind the plate. Cruz, Limon, and Parisian in the outfield for the Buckeyes. Holly takes a rip on the first pitch she sees, sends it foul.
We're seeing the Spartans be really aggressive here in this series finale to start. Eager to try to, again, put the pressure on the Buckeyes early. They have felt like their backs were against the wall this entire series, having to claw their way back. Be huge momentum shift early if they could somehow get some runners on and create some chaos early against a Buckeye arm that has thrown over 200 pitches already this weekend.
Taking another look at this one, seems like Malk kind of tripped coming down, and then that one just in the dirt, didn't brush Holly. So she's got a 1-1 count. Fouls one off. 103 pitches for Malk on Friday, 99 yesterday. Buckeyes took game one 9-0 in 6 innings. And then took game two 2-0. Slow roller. Wilhelm's got to be quick. And she's able to make the throw to first. 1-2-3 inning for the Buckeyes defense. They grab the bats after this. Some fans outside Buckeye Field enjoying some bags, cornhole, what do you call it?
I'm originally from the West Coast. I do call it cornhole, but we're in the Midwest now.
Exactly, I'm a bags girl. So enjoying some bags, some fun festivities before this Sunday matchup. Here's a look at the Ohio State batting order. Adley Parisian with a big bat, as well as Abby Wilhelm. Those two top hitters in this lineup do some damage this weekend already. As we take a look at JC Schuler in the circle, we saw her back in game one. We see her again here on Sunday. What does she bring to the table?
Yeah, she's going to live in the low 60s, and she's a really north-south pitcher, right? She's going to go to the drop, she's going to go to the rise, and then she's going to mix in that changeup for a mix of speeds. I'm interested, she's really their ace. She's their day one Friday starter. She struggled in the series opening on Friday night. I'm interested to see her bounce back here today against what we know is a high-powered Buckeye offense.
They can surely hit the long ball right now, sitting at second in the Big Ten in home runs. Adley Parisian hit 2 of them on Friday. And she did one in her first plate appearance in the first inning. Back in that game on Friday, Parisian went 2 for 3 with 2 home runs, 3 RBIs, and a walk. One and one the count. She lifts one out to left field. This one's gonna stay inside the park. Hooker to make the catch, and that's out number 1. We mentioned when the Spartans were batting, some different changes. You take a look at their defensive setup. You got Hooker out there in left field, who just made the catch. Bernard and Smiley in the outfield, and then also some changes on the right side. Kenyatta at second, Karavaka at first for Michigan State. Well, with one out, here's Abby Wilhelm. First pitch strike. Wilhelm, the sophomore transfer from Missouri, batting .379 in the year to go along with her team-leading 13 home runs. Ohio State as a squad with 68 on the year.
Yeah, Wilhelm has been a big add for Coach Kumar with just, the graduating of the power we saw from some of the seniors and even lost to the transfer portal. Wilhelm has been a big, big get and a crucial part here of the top of this Buckeye lineup.
And she's been great at setting the table for them. They have scored in the first inning in both games so far. Wilhelm ropes one but left. 2-2 the count.
Look at this power that Wilhelm has. I mean, she hits this on barely the last half inch of her bat. You can just see the velocity it has off of it. Yes, of course, foul, but just swings a really, really confident bat from the right-hand side.
And she stays alive here. Yeah, head coach Kiran Kumar said she has been a staple on this team. And defensively, she has played first, moved to third, and now she's playing shortstop. She's been pretty much a utility player for their defense this season. And there is head coach Kiran Kumar in her second year as the head coach of the Buckeyes. David layoff upstairs, full count. She had a pretty spectacular first year. And a strikeout looking for Schuler. 2 down.
Up next for the Buckeyes, second baseman.
How about this drop that just paints the outside corner? What a big time out there to keep a Buckeye off of the bases. We've talked about how the Buckeyes have capitalized early. For the Spartans to get out of the first inning scoreless, that is a win. That is a momentum building first inning that they can take for the rest of this game.
Well, here's Sammy Buick with 2 outs. This one hard hit and through the 5-6 hole for the first hit of the afternoon. A 2-out single for Buick.
Yeah, Buick just doing a good job of sitting on this pitch, not trying to do too much.
So, one aboard for Ohio State, and that'll bring up Taylor Cruz. She was also able to put a run on the board in the first inning of game 1. Her and Hadley Parisian both hitting home runs in that first inning. The 5'9" junior coming over with Coach Kumar from Miami University. And that one caught a piece of the elbow. And actually, they're bringing her back.
Yeah, looks like umpire's initial call is that while it was off the plate and a ball, that Cruz was outside of the batter's box where it hit her. You can see that elbow guard just inching out outside of the batter's box.
And she was,
Ohio State is challenging the call of
yeah.
hit by pitch, but remaining in the batter's box.
So it looks like Ohio State is going to challenge this. Because you can't have your body part hanging over the plate when contact is made with the ball.
Exactly. So that's what the umpire is ruling here, that while Cruz did in fact obviously get hit on this elbow guard, if you were to draw a straight line down from it, it would end up outside of the batter's box.
And Buick obviously staying put, not really making an effort to move out of the way of this pitch.
Maybe a slight lean into it even. Maybe a slight move forward of that elbow guard. Trying to create momentum, trying to find an opportunity to get yourself on base. Of course, we have to have definitive video evidence to revoke the call that was originally made on the field.
The call on the field has been confirmed. The ball was completely outside of the batter's box, and the batter made no effort to get out of the way. She will remain in the box, 1-1 count.
All right, so call is confirmed. 1-1 the count to Sammy Buick as the pitch was not inside the batter's box and she did not make an effort to get out of the way. So here's another shot for Schuler to get out of this inning unscathed. 1-1 the count. Buick, dead center field, and it's gone! She'll take that over a hit by pitch any day.
Talk about ball don't lie for Taylor Cruz. Cruz letting no time pass. How about attacking the direct next pitch? Schuler leaves it up, leaves it elevated over the outside half of the plate, allowing Cruz to get her barrel to extension. And how about some first inning magic now in back-to-back games for these Ohio State Buckeyes?
2-0 lead off the blast from Taylor Cruz, her 13th home run of the season. That is now tied for the team lead with Abby Wilhelm. And like you mentioned, they have scored in the first inning in every game this series. So an opportunity to start over here for JC Schuler, facing off against Kiki Estrada. The first baseman hitting .306 on the year. Got a 2-0 count here. Now 3-0. We had mentioned we had seen JC Schuler back in game 1. Through 3 2/3 innings, he gave up 9 hits, 7 earned runs. On a 3-0 count, Estrada, this one's gonna drop in for a single. So the Buckeyes continuing to pass the bats with 2 outs.
You can see Estrada actually out in front of this ball, but able to get just enough on the barrel to shoot it past Caravaca.
So 2 outs, here's Haley Lang. First pitch swinging, but foul. Lang, the catcher, 321, 7 home runs, 17 RBIs. This is exactly how Ohio State scored back in game 2. Lang in the air. This one gonna be caught by the shortstop, Peyton Conroy, to end the first inning for the Buckeyes. But how about Taylor Cruz? A 2-run blast over the center field wall. And again, the Buckeyes are up after 1. Packed Sunday at Buckeye Field as Ohio State took the 2-0 lead over Michigan State and looking to complete the sweep over the Spartans. And this Ohio State team has been on a run. They're on a 4-game win streak, but how about the last 8 games? I mean, their offense has just come alive. 21 home runs in their last 8 games.
Yeah, talk about getting hot at the right moment now for these Buckeyes. Almost a tale of 2 seasons. Talked about the injuries that they've been impacted by to start this 2026 season, but really starting to put the pieces together defensively in the circle and offensively, and looking more and more like their 2025 form.
This is Sophia Grillo at the plate for Michigan State. Yeah, Ohio State had to battle lots of injuries. They're not even at full strength right now, but certainly getting back on that path and getting everyone up to speed offensively. The 0-2 pitch, close but doesn't get it.
Mulk wanted this changeup. You can see just stays a little bit too elevated. Umpire not quite wanting to give the strikeout signal, but Mulk once again in control here early.
And she gets the strikeout the very next pitch.
And she's really doing a good job of keeping these, albeit aggressive, Spartan hitters off balance. Talked about the velocity that she comes in with, of course. Then she goes to the off speed. And then she gets them to chase, gets them what feels like almost guessing a little bit in the box right now for Michigan State.
First strikeout of the day for Mulk. This is Peyton Conroy. 0-1 the count.
I can see Conroy just not able to hold her hands back on that one. Barrel completely crosses the plate.
And we welcome you, for those just joining us, from some field hockey here in Columbus, Ohio. Kelsey Casper and Sammy Netling with you. The Buckeyes leading the Spartans 2-0 in the top of the second inning. Ohio State struck first for the third straight game. Taylor Cruz had a 2-run blast in the bottom of the first inning to give Ohio State their lead as they look to sweep the Spartans at home this Sunday. Conroy on the ground, up the middle, diving stop on Buick, but it's not going to be enough. The catcher Lang there to back up first base, but first hit for Michigan State.
Yeah, you can see Buick. Tremendous job getting that ball, but just unable to get the throw on target to first base. How about the Spartans now? Can we see them use this little bit of a defensive miscue to their advantage and get some momentum going offensively? Saw them have moments of putting some offensive threats together in the first game, getting runners into scoring position, even over to third in back-to-back innings, but just unable to get the timely hit to push those runners across the board.
Yeah, for Michigan State, they left 8 runners on base in game 2 as they were held scoreless. Against the arm of Jenner Malk, back in the circle for the third straight game for Ohio State. And this is Holverstadt. 2 down. And like we were just mentioning, Sammy, games missed this season due to injury. Reagan Milliken, this is now game number 28 she has missed. Arguably the best bat in this lineup. Parisian wasn't there to start the season. Estrada just came back, and those are big hitters in this lineup.
Yeah, when we talked to Coach Kumar earlier this year, she called it was essentially like having 50-plus home runs just sitting on the bench that she was unable to leverage with those big bats. Of course, we've seen Estrada and Parisian now fighting back from injury. Love to see them back in the lineup, able to have an impact on this team, but you can still feel the absence of Milliken. She was, without a doubt, the biggest bat they had coming back to this Buckeye lineup.
And she broke their single-season RBI record last year. So hopefully as the season goes on, the Buckeyes can get back to full strength. But right now, 1-2 the count, 2 down to Lindsey Hooker, another new bat for the weekend. This is just the 7th start of the season for Hooker. And she's got a runner in scoring position. Peyton Conroy standing on second. She's had the Spartans' lone hit of this game.
Yeah, Hooker typically comes off the bench in a pinch hit opportunity. Coach Show likes to go to the freshman in those moments.
Slow roller back to Malk. And that'll be out number 3. So Spartans able to get a hit, but not bring them around. They still trail by 2. Back in Columbus, Ohio for the bottom of the second inning, the Buckeyes leading the Spartans 2-0. After they were able to put up 2 runs in the bottom of the first inning thanks to a 2-run blast from Taylor Cruz. So here's the bottom of the lineup for the Buckeyes. 7-8-9 due up, Lottie Landmesser, the third baseman, batting 147. A home run and 4 RBIs on the year. Been in and out of the lineup, but Coach Kumar likes her where she's at third. And Abby Wilhelm at short, taking over that left side of the field. She pops this one up. Drifting back is the shortstop Conroy to make the catch 1 down. Right now, get 3 months of Big Ten Plus for just $5.99 a month with promo code SAVE26. You get access to hundreds of live Big Ten sporting events, full and condensed replays and highlights. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to Big10Plus.com and make sure to enter SAVE26 when selecting a monthly pass at checkout to take advantage of this offer. Up the middle, that's a single for Izzy Neal.
You can see that another drop ball here from Schuler. She's just having trouble keeping it down in the zone. And when it's elevated like that, these Buckeyes are just taking full advantage. A good job there by Neal, not trying to do too much there from the left side, poking it through, and once again, getting herself to be a base runner.
This one gets away from Grillo, and Neal's gonna take second base.
Now, these are the moments that the Spartans need to try to control. Okay, you give up the single, but let's not have the defensive miscue here. You can see Grillo just taking her eye off the ball and onto the Buckeye runner right there. Just unable to take control of it. And this is the part of the Buckeye lineup that Schuler needs to attack.
Lamone 0-2. This one pops out of the glove of Conroy, and everyone's going to be safe.
And now you have a much different feel with Parisian coming to the plate with two runners on. Back-to-back defensive miscues here by the Spartans.
This will go down as an E6.
I could see Conroy there just kind of getting caught in the middle of two hops, right? Isn't charging to get it on the short hop. Kind of gets caught in the middle one and it eats her up a little bit defensively. And a big, big moment for the Buckeyes to break this game open.
And there's still only one out here in the bottom of the second inning. Hadley Parisian, first pitch swinging, fouls it back. She flew out to left field in her first appearance, but she has had quite the series. She was the leadoff last year. Had the walk-off home run in game 1 to end it early.
Yeah, with the absence of Milliken, like we talked about, this really is their veteran bat. They have absolutely loved having her back in the lineup. She can just do a little bit of everything. Once a slapper, now turned almost an exclusive power hitter, and a big, big moment for that bat right now.
0-2, this one's in the dirt.
Yeah, good job by Carrillo right there, able to keep that ball in front of her, not let these Buckeyes take that extra 60. Would love to see Schuler attack the zone, but keep the ball down right now.
27 RBIs on the year for Parisian, and a team-leading batting average of .393, just shy of 400. Two-two. Able to lay off the off-speed.
Yeah, I like that pitch from Schuler, honestly. Been attacking her hard with the velocity, and even on the outside part of the plate, she's able to just keep that elevated a bit. I don't think Parisian was ready for that off-speed.
Payoff from Schuler. Well, we know she can hit for power. Let's bring it back to Friday. In the first inning, leading things off for the Buckeyes, she took this one over the right field wall. And then her 11th home run of the season to walk it off in the 6th. And she just blasts this one to win it for the Buckeyes.
Yeah, just great vision, great power from that left side. Anytime she's really able to get her barrel extended, and a good job there of clawing herself back from a disadvantaged count, getting herself on base, passing the bat now to an equally hot Abby Wilhelm.
That was a great patient at bat from Parisian. She was 0-2 and able to draw the walk. Bases loaded, 1 out. And you mentioned the big bat of Abby Wilhelm. $11 total runs scored by the Buckeyes this series. They're looking for more early in game 3. But Schuler drops to a 2-0 count after the walk. Had a strikeout looking back in the first. Looking to redeem herself in the bottom of the second.
I like that get back pitch there from Schuler. Starting off Wilhelm 2-0 after giving up the walk, comes right back with a strike, but one that's in a good place, low in the zone. Good job of getting herself back into this count.
This one roped foul, 2-2. Wilhelm, a transfer from Missouri, and take a look at the improvements from year 1 to year 2. She only got 5 starts in her freshman season, but now given the opportunity, and she has just taken full advantage of it, batting .379. And look at those production numbers.
Yeah, talk about finding a program that is the right fit for you, right? And it feels like she's found that here in Columbus. She's just exploded onto the scene as not just an everyday starter, but as one of the biggest leaders right now for Coach 2K.
Clap your hands.
3-2 the count. Neal standing on third, Lamone at second, Parisian at first. The payoff. And it's a bases loaded walk. Buckeyes go up by 3.
Yeah, Schuler just really struggling with this drop ball on the outside half of the plate. It's just staying elevated a little too much. The Buckeyes are either taking it in that scenario or attacking it and really doing some damage.
Well, after walking in a run, that's the end of Schuler's day. We'll introduce you to the new pitcher next. Tuesday, see more softball live on Big Ten Plus when the Spartans host Central Michigan. Then Wednesday, the Buckeyes take on Dayton in a matinee matchup. Download the Big Ten Plus app today. It is always game on. Packed house in Columbus, and the Buckeyes with a big opportunity here. A pitching change for the Spartans, and Autumn Belke, making her 16th appearance, inherits bases loaded and just 1 out. Here's Sammy Buick in the box for the Buckeyes. And Sammy, what do we expect to see from Belke in the circle?
Yeah, similar to Schuler, right? She's gonna live in the low 60s. She's gonna live in the bottom half of the zone with a drop ball, but she's gonna mix in a curve a bit more than we saw from Schuler. And so while it may be a similar feel in terms of what they have in their arsenal, I'm really interested to see, can Belke attack the zone in the bottom half? Can she paint her corners and keep that drop ball from getting a little bit too elevated?
Buick through the right side, that's gonna score a run. That's gonna score 2. A 2 RBI single for Sammy Buick, and it's a 5-0 Buckeye lead.
You can see just how quickly this game can almost get out of hand. Buick, again, not trying to do too much. Pokes it through the 3-4 hole, but knows she has runners in scoring position, and that is all thanks to the defensive miscues that they took advantage of from this Spartan defense. One hit doesn't hurt you, right? A solo home run doesn't hurt you, but when you allow these Buckeyes to build off of the mistakes that you've made in the field, you just cannot give this offense anything.
And these Spartans are still fighting for an out. Only 1 down, runners at the corners for Taylor Cruz, who had the 2-run home run back in the first inning. But how about the day for Sammy Buick? She's had 2 singles. She had the 2-out hit to get things started in the first inning. Now she just had a 2 RBI base hit. Cruz in the air in foul territory. Sliding in to make the catch is Smiley. But a run is going to cross for the Buckeyes. Great effort in right field, but that was an easy way for Wilhelm to score from third.
Yeah, I'm interested in Coach Cho's approach and if they had a no catch on for a fly ball in that scenario. But regardless, may have a possible injury here to the first baseman, Caravaca. Can see her just collide a little bit with the diving Smiley on that one. Smiley just doing everything she can. A great sliding catch, gets up, throws it from her knees, but again, just because of the situation there, you know the Buckeyes are going to score easily on that ball caught. So you have to weigh it. Do we need an out? Can we afford to give up a run in this situation?
Especially taking into account how the first two games went. Michigan State still has not scored a run this weekend against Ohio State. As we take another look at this, Caravaca going back, Smiley coming in, and it looks like she just clipped her ankle. But a great effort from Smiley.
Yeah, and again, throwing it from your knees, and you cannot knock the effort. But I would just be really interested on if there was a no catch on in that moment as far as the defensive plan that they were trying to execute.
So Caravaca will exit the game. And let's take a look at who comes in at first base. Britton Bashirs will enter the game. She has started every single game for Michigan State this year, except this one, game 3. So normal staple in the lineup. Comes back in at first base with 2 outs and 1 on.
Now batting, number 89, Kiki Estrada.
Now batting for the Buckeyes, Kiki Estrada. Already a hit today. Puts a charge into this one. First pitch she sees, and it's gone. Barely making it over the wall, but just enough power for a 2-run blast. Her 9th of the season.
How about that? Estrada on time for the first pitch she sees from Belkey. And she just sends this one. Just a beautiful job getting her hands extended and now extending this Buckeye lead. That is now back-to-back times where we've had a home run after an almost a lull in the action, and it looks like we are going to see another Spartan take the circle.
Big inning for the Buckeyes, and look at this blast from Kiki Estrada. You can see her saying, come on, come on, come on, just barely making it over the wall. And all of a sudden, it is an 8-run lead for Ohio State.
Yeah, it's been pitched by committee for most of this year for Coach Cho and these Spartans. And once again, that's what we are going to see with now the 3rd Spartan arm, with Alex Starr taking the circle and taking the ball now for this Michigan State squad.
The freshman out of Texas getting the nod with 2 outs, making her 15th appearance, 4.96 ERA. How does she compare to the other 2 that we've seen?
She's going to be a little bit quicker with her velocity. She's going to live more in the mid to upper 60s, I would say. And the biggest difference is the elevation. To pair with the drop ball that we saw from the first 2 Spartan arms, we now are going to see a rise. So can she change levels and change speeds to try to do something to keep these Buckeyes off balance? Because we have seen no matter who has been in the circle so far, they have been on time and executing on any ball left too far over the plate and with too much elevation.
Ohio State now with 70 home runs on the year with the 2 blasts from Cruz and Estrada. This is Lang. And the Buckeyes have now hit around their lineup in the 2nd inning, scoring 6 runs and counting. She gets her to swing in the dirt. So Starr comes in and does her job, but not before. 6 runs come across for the Buckeyes, and they lead by 8 after 2. Top of the 3rd inning, 8-0 lead for Ohio State over Michigan State. Kelsey Casper and Sammy Netling with you as the Spartans still look for their first run of the weekend. Only 1 hit so far against the freshman in the circle, Jenna Mulk, for the Buckeyes. 8-9-1 due up. Mulk, so far through the first 2 games, had only allowed 8 hits. And first pitch hitting Natalia Kenyatta. So the leadoff aboard for Michigan State
for the first time this game. You can see this curveball from Mulk just gets away from her. Kenyatta just unable to get out of the way, but can we see the Spartans use this to their advantage? Can we see some of the speed from Kenyatta and the bottom of this lineup turn it over to Bernard at the top? Oh, and I forgot, with Bashir's now in the game, we have a big bat at the plate right now for the Spartans. Bashir is, of course, typically the everyday first baseman for Coach Show. Typically hits anywhere from 4 to 5 in the lineup. She's a bat that can do a lot of damage, but has been struggling a bit as of late at the plate. But now in an interesting position that the Spartans could use to their advantage, with Bashir's at the 9 to be able to turn it over to Bernard and the rest of the top of the lineup for these Spartans.
Yeah, Bashir's did not get the start today, but Kira Vaca left last inning with an injury at first base, as this one is fouled and out of play. 1-2 to count. Shears, the 5'8" senior, Michigan native. Sends this one to the outfield. Center field calling it off. Lamone in to make the catch. 1 down.
Shears had a good at-bat going there, but just got a little bit too antsy on that last pitch. Little bit too out in front of it. It'll be interesting to see how she does in terms of, again, a little bit unfamiliar territory coming off the bench here in this series finale. But can we now see Bernard, the feisty freshman at the top of this lineup, do some damage and get some momentum going for this Spartan offense?
Swing and a miss for Bernard. Flew out to center field in her first at-bat. So quick, the freshman out of Tennessee. Most of her hits are for extra bases because she can stretch it.
Mulk going back to back with the off speeds there. How about it? You can see Bernard just so far out in front. We talked about the speeds that Mulk can get up to. 71, 72, that makes that off speed feel even slower when you're in the box.
She has kept these hitters off balance all weekend. One and two. Bernard in play, over to short. They get the lead at second, but they have no shot getting to Speedy Bernard at first. So 2 down, 1 aboard.
Now batting right fielder number 0, Kendall Smiley.
So here's Kendall Smiley. Another lefty for Mulk, as they call an illegal pitch. Let's take another look, try to see. It looks maybe like she stepped out of the circle.
Yeah, it looks like it based on that replay. Didn't see anything from a replant perspective. Oh, we may have actually had an automatic ball on the batter.
Right back to the pitcher. Regardless, it's an out at first. So still, Sparties are scoreless in Columbus. Eight runs off of 6 hits for the Buckeyes and an opportunity to add more as we enter the bottom of the 3rd inning in Columbus. Ohio State looking for the clean sweep over Michigan State at home this weekend. For the 2nd straight inning to lead things off, Lottie Landmesser. 7-8-9 due up for the Buckeyes, who scored 6 runs in the bottom of the 6th inning. Two home runs so far for Ohio State. Taylor Cruz back in the 1st, Kiki Estrada a 2-run blast in the 2nd. And Michigan State now on their 3rd arm in the circle with the freshman Alex Starr. Lottie flew out to shortstop back in the 2nd inning. And Sammy, are you a bit surprised we haven't seen Cassidy in the circle for Michigan State after she had a great complete game outing yesterday?
Yeah, a career day for Cassidy with a career high in strikeouts, but again, it's not so typical in softball where you see those back-to-back starters, and I think we may have seen her, or we may see her if this game gets a little bit closer, but right now, I mean, just got to find some momentum in the circle, something to just limit the damage and allow your offense to get going. They just have had no time to breathe, really. But this is the part of the Buckeye lineup that they need to attack. 7, 8, 9 before you turn it over to the powerful Parisian. So can Starr do just that? Doing a good job right now, battling back against Landmesser. But can we eliminate the amount of base runners we have on the base pass when you know you're gonna inevitably give up the big hit? This is a high-powered Buckeye offense, right? Coach Sho said we're not working for zeros, but we just have to limit the damage where possible.
Landmesser on a full count, pops it up, and the catcher Grillo there to make out number 1.
Good job there by Grillo. And again, for this defense, just kind of taking the outs where they come from you, right? Landmesser just gets underneath this ball. Grillo doing a good job of getting herself turned around to the backstop and helping her pitcher out, of making the routine outs routine.
Bunt popped it up, and how about that? 2 outs for Grillo.
Love to see it. Love some catcher action.
So quickly, 2 outs. Starr going to work in the circle for the Spartans, and here's Skylar Lamone, the number 9 hitter in this Buckeyes lineup, trying to get out for the first time. 1, 2, 3. They actually had a shot at it back in the 1st. The starters, Schuler, handled Parisian and Wilhelm at the top, but Ohio State has been phenomenal in their 2-out hitting today. 1-0 the count. That one just missing low. 2-0. You've seen Lamone get a little bit of action in center field. Coach Kumar said that she is one of the best center fielders she has ever coached.
Yeah, just tremendous range out there, paired with her speed. She just loves the way that she approaches that position defensively.
And we will hear from Coach Kumar after the bottom of the third inning. It's now a 2-2 count to Lamone. Getting her Buckeyes back on track after a tough start to the season. Battling a lot of adversity in Columbus this year.
It's a big pitch right here for Star. Had Lamone 2-2. Now you let the count get to 3-2. Can you shut the door on this inning right now?
Flies out. Hooker coming in to make the catch, and for the first time, the Buckeyes go down 1-2-3. We'll hear from Coach Kumar after this. To the top of the fourth inning we go. 8-0 lead for Ohio State over the Spartans. Michigan State sitting at 13-19. 0-8 in conference play, still looking for that coveted first Big Ten win. But right now, they need to put up a run. We have not seen that this weekend from the Spartans, and they have an opportunity to do it here. Heart of the order coming up, Holly, Grillo, and Conroy.
Yeah, good part of the order here for the Spartans to take advantage of some of that momentum you got on the defensive side of the ball with that shutdown inning.
First pitch swinging. Malk's going to take the catch. Out number one, and we are now joined by Ohio State head coach Kieran Kumar. Thanks so much for hopping on, Coach. Just want to start with this. You got an opportunity for a series sweep, and we know talking to you earlier in the week, it was a tough start to the season. Just how do you feel like this team is really handling conference play and hitting their stride right now?
Yeah, I think we found like a really good lineup both offensively and defensively, and they're starting to trust each other and gel and working together, and I think that's the biggest thing, and you don't want to peak at the beginning of the year, so.
Yeah, Coach Mulk.
Want to keep going in the right direction.
Absolutely, and how about someone going in the right direction right now is your freshman phenom Mulk. Talking to us about the decision to go back to back to back and ride the hot hand with the freshman here in Game 3.
A hand is kind of tied on those choices, so but she's been pitching great, pitching under 100 pitches a game, so it works out in our favor.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time, Coach. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. Sorry about that. I didn't know I was supposed to be on.
No worries, Coach.
I'll stay here. I mean, might as well talk the whole inning now.
Let's do it, Coach. Top of the fourth inning.
Okay. Yeah.
You're two
and
now.
You see Jenna went. There we go. It's kind of like it's mic'd up, but
you get the swing and the miss
we'll
here.
See,
just tell us what makes Jenna so dangerous in the circle.
I think so from the beginning of the year of her coming, she should be in high school right now. She was kind of all over the place, and we've. Coach Core, our pitching coach, has figured out how to kind of contain her, and so now she's hitting her spots, and her changeup is looking really, really good. Which the first day it wasn't. Today it seems to look really good. So when you're throwing 70s consistently, high 60s, and then with that changeup, it's hard to pick. So
this one deep center field. Lamone going back to make the catch. 2 down. And, Coach, you had told us, actually, too, Lamone's the best center fielder you think you've ever coached. Why is that? What makes her so special?
Well, she's really, really fast. She reads the balls really well, and she can throw people out. So, it's kind of a trifecta right there. And she doesn't get bad reads. She takes charge, catches balls in front of her, and then she's kind of a spark plug. When she's, gets on base, when she's talking, she's a fireball. And so that's kind of why, all around, it's fun to watch her play. It's fun to talk to her. It's fun to have someone like her around. And I'm fortunate that I get to coach her for 2 years, so she graduates this year.
One of the seniors in this lineup, this is Peyton Conroy now at the plate for Michigan State. 2 down, 1-1 the count.
Yep. So I will say I made a really bad decision to review that call in the first inning or whatever. So I want to already point to people that was an awful, awful decision to review that call.
You're talking about the hit by pitch earlier that we saw?
Yeah. I would, Taylor had her number, so why wouldn't I want her in the box against her? So I don't know. And then she proved me, so whatever. that was a really bad decision.
Well, your player picked you up.
I guess. Yes.
A hit by pitch compared to a 2-run blast, Coach.
Yeah, no, that, and then, you know, we'd want to, yeah, so like here, like I want to hit the ball, and I don't know what I was thinking. So, yeah, maybe I gave her time to like recoup and all that stuff. So that's what I'm going to tell myself.
There you go, Coach. We love it. 2-2 the count to Conroy, this one in the dirt. Full count.
No.
Coach, I mean, to that end, though, Estrada's home run also came off of a little lull in the action. So maybe it was just a moment for Cruz to reset there, right? I mean, but man, your Buckeyes, when they're ready, and like you said, when you want them to swing, you want them to hack, and when they see a ball in the strike zone right now, they are going after it.
Yeah, I mean, if they swing and miss, here's the thing, like, it's what I tell them all the time. If they swing and miss, they can adjust their swing, right? And if they just call a strike, it's kind of hard. So, all right, thank you so much.
We loved the mic'd up inning from Coach Kumar. Ohio State still up by 8. Bottom of the 4th inning, Ohio State leading 8-0, but we are now joined by Michigan State head coach Sharana McDonald-Kelly. Coach, thank you so much for joining us. Now in game 3 here in Columbus, and you're facing the same arm of Jenna Malk once again. Just what adjustments were you talking about with your players before this game?
Yeah, like you said, this is our 3rd time this year, so we know we need to make some adjustments, see the ball up, make her throw strikes, and attack those pitches that we want to hit.
Coach Starr doing a good job in that last inning, able to go 3 up, 3 down. What have you liked from your freshman in the circle so far?
Yeah, she looks great. We just ask our pitchers to come out and compete and give us a chance and throw some competitive pitches, and she's done that.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Coach. We appreciate it.
You're welcome.
And Starr back in the circle for the Spartans. In the bottom of the 4th inning, Buckeyes back to the top. 1, 2, 3. Due up as Starr sat the bottom half of the order down in order in the bottom of the 3rd inning. So here's Hadley Parisian. Still looking for her first hit of the day. Flew out back of the 1st, walked and scored in the 2nd. Ohio State put up 2 runs in the 1st inning off a 2-run blast from Taylor Cruz, and then they just passed the bat in the 2nd. They put up 6 runs, featured by the 2-run shot from Kiki Estrada. Parisian ropes this one into right field, but right into the glove of Smiley. 1 down. Thursday, more softball comes your way when the Badgers and Boilermakers open a series in West Lafayette. Live coverage begins at 5 Eastern, 2 Pacific on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. So 1 away, here's Abby Wilhelm. Looks at a ball upstairs. Also walked and scored in the 2nd. This is a Ohio State team that went 45-14 last season. It was Coach Kumar's first year as head coach of the Buckeyes. And talk about a way to come on the scene in the Big Ten. Showing out with 45 wins and breaking several conference records.
Yeah, none bigger, of course, than the single-season home run record on their way to lead the nation last year in long balls.
You see the numbers from a season ago. 45 wins. Like we mentioned earlier, slower start on the season due to a lot of injuries, but those numbers are starting to climb here in 2026 and certainly are going to improve after this performance we've seen in this series against Michigan State.
Yeah, there of course were question marks coming into the season for the Buckeyes, just with the departure both from graduation and the transfer portal for some of those big bats. And then pair that with the injuries, it does make it an unexpected start to Coach Kumar's 2nd year at the helm, right? We talked about it in terms of the big bats in the lineup. Of course, none bigger than Milliken continuing to be out for this season, but we heard Coach Kumar also hint to it in the circle where they've struggled with some injuries as well.
The damage has been done. 3, 4, 5. This one's gonna split the gap off the bat of Sammy Buick. Wilhelm's being waved home. She will score, and how about Buick advancing to third?
How about Buick once again just going down and getting her barrel on this ball? And Wilhelm seeing it to the wall and thinking 3 bases the whole way. Once again, you have a situation though where had Wilhelm with 2 out, or with 2 strikes, excuse me. Yes, you give up the hit to Buick, but more importantly, you give up an extra 60 feet with the errant throw there to home base. That's just not something that you want to do. Yes, you want to be aggressive. You know, it was probably a bang-bang play to get Wilhelm. I'm not saying to not attack it and go for that out potentially, but you just cannot let that ball get by you and allow an extra 60 feet.
And it was ruled an error. That's a second on Michigan State today. But what a day from Sammy Buick as you see the throw coming in to the shortstop. And
I can see Conroy just sailing it and Starr trying to be in a position to back up there. You could see the pitcher doing her job, being behind Grillo, but just not something you needed. An unnecessary throw there. And now you have a different feel to this at-bat for Cruz.
But how about the bounce back from Starr, able to get the strikeout, 2 down?
I think Starr is actually doing a very good job, and I do think the ability to change levels with the rise ball right now is giving these Buckeyes a different feel. Both from Belke and from Schuler, they were able to just kind of sit on that drop ball that was just staying a little bit too elevated. Now you're seeing Starr able to split levels intentionally. And even in that one, right, starting off Estrada, yes, it's a ball, but you're at least showing it to her where you're lifting her eyes a little bit and she has to respect that. Then when you go back to the drop ball like she does right there, right, Estrada's just unable to sit on both. She has to make a decision. It's a different feel for these Buckeyes than what they saw from the first 2 Spartan arms so far this game.
Estrada fans one to left. Another RBI on the day for Kiki Estrada. It's a 10-0 lead for the Buckeyes.
Yeah, Estrada just doing a good job. I mean, she just hits all fields so well. See this ball, I mean, probably a full ball off the plate. Just waits on it, is on time, gets her hands extended, and earns herself a pinched runner. With Tar coming in for the Buckeyes.
So 2 down. Tar standing at first, and here's Haley Lang at the plate for Ohio State. And actually, pinch hitter as well. Emma Tolley now hitting in place of Lang. "37th at-bat of the season for Emma Tolley. Has started 8 games, appearing in her 21st outing here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Buick and Estrada have no doubt been the 2 biggest bats in the lineup today for Ohio State. 3 hits for Sammy Buick, 3 runs scored and 3 RBIs. 3 hits, 3 RBIs, and a run scored for Estrada.
And unlike the one to Cruz, that coach was shaking her head at challenging, that one does indeed clip Tolley on the elbow, and she is going to be awarded first base.
And I just love how honest Coach Kumar was with us about that earlier call she made to challenge that hit by pitch. She owned it.
Yeah, you got the mic. The floor is yours. You're with us for the whole inning. Give us all the tea, Coach.
It was perfect. She stayed on, if you guys missed it, stayed on with us for the whole half inning. So we appreciate her time. Speaking to us on this Sunday as her team looks to sweep Michigan State. They have a 10-0 lead.
And it looks like we're gonna have, once again, a pinch hitter. Coach Kumar just going to her bench now with the lead, what it is. We're gonna see the sophomore Ricks now take her hacks in the box for the Buckeyes.
'23rd at bat for Ricks, hitting .227 in those opportunities. This one gets away from Grillo. Everyone's gonna stay put. Two outs, two on, but man, this is when the Buckeyes have been lethal today. 5 two-out hits. So much production coming with their backs against the wall. 3-1. In for a strike. Full count.
I like that comeback pitch by Starr. She had 2 pitches that got away from her before, just not very competitive. Attack the zone. Go right at this pinch hitter.
Full count. A walk loads the bases. July 11th, the BTN Big 10K returns to Soldier Field in Chicago. Scan the QR code or register right now at btnbig10k.com to be a part of the 10K or 5K race and post-race tailgate party. Michigan State taking a second to talk with their pitcher-catcher. Bases loaded, 2 outs, and it's already a 10-0 lead for Ohio State. Kumar has sent in some pinch hitters, but due up next is Izzy Neal. Looks like she's going to stay in the box for the Buckeyes. You got Tar standing on third, Tolly at second, Ricks at first. And actually, they are going to go with a pinch hitter. Here's Reese Cullen, a freshman out of Barrington, Illinois. Has a big opportunity here. First pitch strike to Cullen. 15 at bats, batting .200 in those chances. We'll see if Starr can get out of this bases loaded jam. Lots of work to do for the Spartans, as it's a 10-run lead heading into the top of the 5th inning. Ohio State already run-ruled the Spartans back in game 1. It was a 9-0 win in 6 innings.
Yeah, Starr just really struggling the past 2 batters to maintain advantage counts right now. Misses are just what are considered bad misses, right? Not competitive pitches, nowhere near the plate, but a good job there of coming back.
Gets Cullen to pop it up, and that will end the inning. 10-0 lead heading to the top of the 5th inning. Stay up to date on all the news around the conference with Big Ten Today, weekdays only on the Big Ten Network. Ohio State moving up the standings with a potential 3-game sweep over Michigan State. And taking a look at the top, Washington, the only team left undefeated after this weekend. Nebraska and UCLA went head-to-head. The Huskers winning the series 2-1 with a win this afternoon. Indiana and Oregon, the two teams sitting behind the top 3. Well, Michigan State down to their final 3 outs here in the top of the 5th inning, and a new pitcher comes into the circle for the first time this series. It's the senior Lexi Paulson getting an opportunity to close this game out.
Yeah, Paulson, a veteran arm that has just really struggled with injuries for the Buckeyes over the past couple of years. We did not see her at all during the 2025 campaign and only saw her sparingly so far in 26. But Coach Kumar using this opportunity with the lead to just try to get her some innings as she continues to fight back from injury.
6, 7, 8 due up for the Spartans. This is Sophie Halverstadt. Making her 6th start of the season. That one in for a strike. And again, the Spartans have yet to score in this series against Ohio State, but this is also the first time not seeing the arm of Jenna Mulk. Halverstadt just turns on this one, but right into the arm of Parisian. 1 down.
Up next for the Spartans, left fielder
Mulk in
number
this
11,
series,
Lindsey Berger.
17 innings pitched, 8 hits, and gave up no runs. The freshman who actually graduated high school early to come play for the Buckeyes, just fantastic in her 3-game started.
Yeah, just tremendous composure. And like we said, the growth that Coach Kumar has seen from her in the circle so far this year. Came on to the Buckeye squad at the start of this season, was very raw, right? Knew she had a ton of velocity, had a ton of potential, but it was about reining in that velocity. It's a lot easier in high school and travel ball to just depend on your speed to blow past batters. It's a different ball game when you get to this level, and you have to be just a lot more controlled, a lot more composed about how you attack the strike zone. Don't just have the luxury anymore to really solely fall back on that velocity. And I feel like we've seen that on display today, her going to the changeup and it being effective, right? Not just throwing it, but really being able to lean on it to then set up the velocity for strikeout pitches, for miss hits, etc. I've been very, very impressed by the freshman and what we saw from her in the circle today and in this series.
This is Hooker, sends it out to center, and the Spartans are down to their final out.
Now batting second baseman number 46, Natalia Kenyatta.
So here's Natalia Kenyatta. Good pitch from Paulson, doesn't get it, 1-1. Ohio State has 5 shutouts on the season. They're looking for their 6th here this afternoon. Two and 1. Paulson delivers the strike, 2-2. Lays off upstairs.
Talk about a momentum building weekend that these Buckeyes can really take from and run with it. Talked about the struggles they had at the start of the year and the turnaround we've seen in the past 6 games.
And with 2 outs, Paulson walks Kenyatta. A close pitch.
Paulson wanted this one. Talk about a beautiful changeup, but just off the outside part of the plate. Kenyatta doing a good job of just extending this ball game a little bit longer, getting herself on base for the big bat of Bashirs.
So 2 down, 1 aboard for Britton Bashirs, who came into this game after the 2nd inning. And Michigan State, they have struggled on the road this year, 0-2 in road games, but they'll return home this week. They got a midweek matchup against Detroit Mercy, as well as a 3-game series with Illinois, as Bashirs keeps this game alive with a single to left.
Now batting center fielder number 2, Zoe Bernard.
Shear's doing a good job on this drop ball, just going down and getting it, anticipating the movement, just barreling it up, and again, just extending this game, passing the bat now to Bernard.
Slow roller to short. Bernard, safe at first. Spartans got some life in them.
How about the spark from the Sparties coming from the speedy freshman? We talked about her speed, but how about that? Just beating out this little dribbler to the shortstop. A great job by Bernard.
So bases loaded here. Here's Kendall Smiley with 2 outs.
Seeing some life here, down to their final out before we've seen it, but how about the Spartans just getting a little bit of momentum going?
Smiley looking for her first hit of the afternoon, 1-1 the count.
And this is where the Spartans have struggled all series long. They've been able to put runners in scoring position, but have not been able to throw the final punch to get them across the board.
Smiley pokes this one to the left, and that will do it. Ohio State completes the sweep over the Spartans, featuring 3 shutout wins.